Hey everyone.
Hey, welcome to another night of Unveil Paranormal News. Who's
Yay!
excited?
I'm super excited.
Yes, absolutely. Welcome everybody to the paranormal news podcast. Every week, we're here to give you casual yet informative information on paranormal updates. I'm really excited for tonight. It's another one, another doozy we have coming
Mm.
for the paranormal tea.
It is.
Um,
It's going to be fun.
Seems to be one of our favorite segments. So,
I'm looking forward to the bat.
yeah, because that one's personal.
It is.
Absolutely. So guys, first off, I want to say, Brad, how's it going?
Not too bad. It's
Good.
it's Wednesday.
It's a great
How are
day.
you?
I'm good. Oh man, guys, we have a few updates for you tonight. Let me grab my little photos here for you so I can share with you. I hope everybody is hanging in there. Today is January 31st. It is the last day of January, guys. I hate winter with a passion. I am so ready for warmer weather and sunshine.
Yep. I will still be in shorts year round, but yes.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I don't like the cold, so I will not be in shorts.
Hey Brad Webb.
Hey, Brad. All right, guys. So let's first up on our list here. SilCon
Yep. I've
is
been there. It's a
canceled.
Yes, they are canceling this year so they can make it better. I think they're trying to form it into like a more cohesive group that runs it. From what I
Yeah.
read from this post, but
Um,
they are canceling it for 2024, but they are planning on bringing it back next year. It is held in Effingham, Illinois. I went a few years ago when it was still in Mattoon. It was a great event. It's not just paranormal. There's authors there. There's like anime. There's all kinds of stuff. It's a really fun event.
so where are these places in Illinois? Are they up north or?
This it's going to be held in Effingham, which is just Central Illinois. That's what SilCon stands for, Central Illinois Convention.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep, yep.
I wondered what it stood for. Yeah. So
So
SoCon's
yeah,
gonna be canceled. I've not
Effingham's
been to this
yeah,
one.
Effingham's like right on 70, so
Oh,
just
gotcha, gotcha.
out farther west of than Ashmore is.
Yeah. So it looks like they have 13 years under their belt.
Yep.
So they're just gonna skip a year and something about the location they usually have. They're gonna
That
go
happened
someplace
last year.
else.
They went from being held in the Mattoon Mall. They had to move it to Effingham because the mall in Mattoon didn't want it anymore, but it actually worked out better in Effingham because it's a bigger town anyway.
Excellent.
So, but yeah, it's like a 2 day event. There's usually a really good party the Saturday night into Sunday morning. So
Yeah.
definitely worth
Awesome.
going to when they have it.
That's awesome. In other news, guys, Haunted Hillview is hiring. I'm not familiar with this location. I don't think it's on my list.
Huh.
Haunted Hill. Hill. See, I think this is an indie. Is the word hill hard for people from Indiana? Because I feel like every time I go to say it, I want to say heel.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. I don't know. Sorry.
Hillview
Haunted
Manor.
Hillview Manor is hiring tour guides and volunteers. If that's something you're interested in, they have information there on the screen you see before you. Um, Again, not a location I'm quite familiar with. Well, I think this one's, where's it located out of?
I think it's in New York because it's not
New
one I've
York?
ever. I think it's in New York.
Okay. I'll definitely have to look this one up and add it to my list
Oh, Brad
from.
says it's in Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. PA. All right, cool, gotcha. So that's good to know. But yeah, definitely check that out. There's a lot of these places hiring for volunteers and stuff. It's weird because I never noticed those type of posts until we started doing this series.
Right. Yeah. I hadn't ever seen these until we started looking for this stuff.
Yeah. I wonder what it means by hiring though. I mean, most of it's probably you don't get paid. All
Right.
of us
It's
would
probably
love to get paid
volunteer,
for this,
but
but yeah.
they might still interview you and want you to fill out a
Background
questionnaire.
checks,
Yeah.
perhaps. I would love to help with a haunted location. If
Hmm.
you know
I did
any
some
of the
I did promoting some for last year for Geyer. So,
local, yep.
and
You
I've
still
been,
basically do the
yeah,
Geyer opera.
pretty much. Yeah. But I've done like paranormal 101 classes at some locations before just as a volunteer thing. So
Yeah.
it's fun.
And Indy, you're kind of close to a lot of haunted location. I myself I feel like I'm not at a lot near a lot of haunted locations. The
Yeah.
closest one to me is Monroe House.
Right.
And I am not going to curse myself with volunteering at the Bell Mansion either. So that's not happening.
Aw.
No, I'm not going down that rabbit hole. So, but I would be happy to help at Monroe or even Blackford or any of those in Hartford City since that's nearby. So,
Yep. Yep.
except for maybe not the speakeasy until they deal with the bats. So,
Yeah. The speakeasy, I don't think, is ever going to get fully restored.
yeah. All right. Up next, we also have leading into our events. We have several events, but I wanted to share the Bump in the Night Society's list here because they list a ton of events on here that you may be considering. One I totally forgot about was Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. I actually missed that by a week last year when I went to Gettysburg, and it was very interesting because in Gettysburg, it's much more about the haunted stuff now than it used to be. It used to be more about history. But when I mentioned the Gettysburg Bash to the locals, they were like, "Oh my!" Like eye roll. I'm like, they must be like, those people are annoyed or something.
Maybe they it up. I don't know. I've never been to Gettysburg, so it's
Yeah, but
definitely a
you
place
can
I
just
want to
about
visit.
in Gettysburg, you can just about go to any venue or any B&B, something like that, and just say, "Hey, I'm into ghost hunting," and you can have a conversation with anybody and everybody there. So it's really nice and casual, and like
Good.
very different than. I'm not going to do that anywhere around here unless I'm at a haunted location. But there, just with the businesses and all that stuff, you can casually talk to them about it, which is kind of cool. I would assume Salem's the same way, Salem, Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm. There's some areas of Indy you could probably do that too, like the Irvington area and maybe the Fountain Square area of Indy. You could do that.
Mm. Yeah. So check these out. I may look into the Gettysburg Bash again because I did go to Gettysburg last year, but I'll have to see. ParasiteCon I'm familiar with. These other ones I'm not as familiar with, but maybe they're smaller conventions that are that Bump in the Night Society is going to be attending. So just jot those down if you're interested in looking into some other Paracons to be part of, guys. All right. Next up on events, we do have a cleanup day. Everybody loves cleanup days at these haunted locations. I think it's a great thing that some of them do. I think more locations do it. I know Robin is very good at hosting these.
Yep.
They do cleanups at the roads and other places that are within like that group of people that associate with each other. So I think cleanup days are great. I really do.
I actually went to Ashmore last year for 2 days and helped him finish the walls in the new house he's building.
Yeah.
So
you can volunteer to help.
Yep.
Or he'll just ask you.
Yeah. I literally had nothing to do, and he's like, "You want to come out and help me mud the walls in the new house?" And I'm like, "Never done that, but sure." So.
And I can't remember. Did you get to investigate it all or no?
Yeah.
I think there was a team there. Oh, you did?
Before the team got there, we got to go in for the while, and then after the team left, we got to go in.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, guys, this is an excellent way to, help these buildings that we want to keep restored and running, and kind of a good way to get to go and see the building.
Yes.
It's volunteer. You just go and you volunteer your time, and maybe you'll get to see the building. Maybe he'll give time to investigate. I don't know. It's up to the owner. I know sometimes they have allowed like that night you can investigate or whatever, depending on the owner
Yep.
and depending on if it's booked.
Yeah.
So
And Robin is a great person to work with. He is an amazing guy. He's done so much for the building. He's put so much money into the building because when he got it, it was a complete dump. The guy who owned it before him used it for storage. Like the ground floor was floor to ceiling, just crap.
yeah. I wish they would do a cleanup day in that. I don't know if I could say the school same, but that one school that's not open to the public yet, one of Dan's schools.
Yeah.
I wish they'd do cleanup days there more often to get that one up and running, because that was a very cool school.
That was a very cool school.
So the nice thing about knowing Brad is Brad can get me in locations.
Yeah, because we did a cleanup day at that school. We brought brooms.
We did do some stuff at the school, but yeah, Brad has friends, so Brad's my new bestie now. I co-tell ride Brad's tail or whatever.
Yeah, that's okay. I can get into a lot of places pretty easy usually, so
it's actually pretty accurate. Brad's pretty cool though, guys. He's a good friend to have. Hey, Brandy.
Hey, Brandy.
Yeah. So another thing that we've seen, if you're up in northern Indiana, and I apologize, a lot of this is going to be Midwest based because we are slowly adding stuff beyond the Midwest. We're both from Indiana. So a lot of these events are based out of the Midwest area. If you know of events and stuff like that coming up outside of the Midwest area, let me know. Send it to us, share it with us. We'll share it on the air, especially if it's coming up soon, like in the next month or something. That way we can keep updating it with, sorry, I hear noises outside there. I think my daughter's home. So I keep looking back. Just send it our way so we can see it. Otherwise, we're going to slowly start including other states, other areas of the country. I'm hoping to go as far, especially even on my location list. That's going to be another thing. So, locations internationally too, I will add those to the list. Just got to get my states updated first.
Yep. We're slowly but surely updating. We're finding new locations nearly every day that we like. Do you have this one? Do you have that one? So,
yep. Every location from A through I that's listed on the website is now updated. You click it, like it shows you like an estimate of what the cost is. You click it, and then it takes you straight to the website to book. So keep that in mind if you're interested. I got to get the other ones updated though. Says there's a person at my front door.
Uh-oh. Does it look like a daughter?
It better be a daughter. Daughter, are you here?
I hear footsteps.
I'll find out. Next on the agenda. So, again, if you're up from North Indiana area, you want to go check out Fort Wayne UFO and Alien Existence. That's a group that I recently came across since Unity. I know a couple people in this group, so I don't know how long this group's been around, but they have something called a UFO Skywatch, which is hilarious because our UFO segment or alien segment is called Skywatch. So they're coming up with new events, and their first one is May 18th. Which I'm curious as to why it's not the eclipse, which we'll talk about. We talked about
that's
it.
True.
That's next.
That's next. Hey, Amber.
So I'm just curious about that. Why that is not? That would be a great time to UFO watch, right?
But it happens on a Sunday at like 3:30 in the afternoon. So.
But what about that night?
That's true. I'd like to be at a haunted location that night. I haven't planned that far ahead yet, but I agree. There could be a lot of interesting energy in the world during the eclipse.
Yes. Speaking of, And yes, to answer your question, it is a daughter that just came in my house. I checked the camera. I need to scroll into this. This is an event at Poatstown in Ohio, guys.
Yes, down in Middletown,
It's a
Ohio.
it's a 2-night event. There's tons of details on the actual event page. Links will be down below in the description if you want to go check out this. This is one I might take time off of work to go to, honestly.
I have a love-hate relationship with Poatstown, so I would love to go back. That's where I was coming home from when I nearly died.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's that.
So, but I've been back multiple times since then. It was just, it's a love-hate relationship, but.
Well, I want to go primarily to investigate the night after the eclipse. So the eclipse is what, Monday night or Monday day, right?
Sunday, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's like April 8th or something, I think.
Well, this is Sunday, April 7th. This starts.
Okay, maybe it's the 7th.
So
I don't know.
It's the night before the eclipse and the night after the eclipse.
Okay.
And they'll be doing some investigating. I can't remember which team is hosting this, but it's a 2-night event. There's tons of details on the page. I didn't copy paste all of them. I'm hoping, though, if that's the case, that it's not what I call a controlled investigation.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't use that term very often. But to me, when a team is hosting an event, but you can only investigate with them, you can only investigate their way. It's a look at me investigation. Like you get to stand there and watch them have fun. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'll have to look at
I've investigated that school with just one other person before, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
I want to do more one or two people investigations. I see Phil Gibson has been doing 1-person investigations. I kind of want to do more one or two people for safety reasons. Right. Because I want to do more mediumship work on an investigation. Mm-hmm. As opposed to going in and staring at my gear all day. I want to kind of read the room more often. So. Right.
I totally understand that. What I'd want to do if I was just one or two, I'd like to set up equipment and then just let it run while we're there and then review it afterwards.
Mm-hmm. So definitely check out this event because I'm curious about this one too. I'm going to read the descriptions on it. Maybe I'll make an appearance, maybe not. Maybe I'll consider booking my own location like this. A Sunday, Monday night should be fairly easy to book, I would think.
Right. I think it would.
So, yeah, for sure. All right, guys. So that's our events we have for this week. So let me know again if you see any news, events, any of that stuff. Let us know. In Paris celebrity news. Whoa, we got to zoom that puppy in. We have Project Fear again this week. However, this time when they show up, when they are back up on YouTube on February 2nd, we know what the location is. It's going to be the Conjuring House.
Hey, what's up, John?
So they have shared that with everybody that the YouTube that they're going to on YouTube when they return, the first episode or the new episode is going to be at the Conjuring House. I don't know how. What?
Go ahead. I was going to say something to John real quick. Stick around for the bat video, John. You're kind of in it, but it's not the one you're thinking of. This one's never been shown. This one's never been shown or posted anywhere.
You're about to be famous, John. Let's see what else you guys had to say down here. Let's get the way together, Clarissa and then Brad, and I can do the double Brad investigation. The double Brad. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't mind public investigations if they're not like $100 or $200. If they're like $30, I'll go investigate with somebody. But
right, yeah.
Other than that, I'll waste my money.
And when I go into public investigations, I always go in with the fact that I'm more there to network and have fun than actually catch anything.
Yeah, meet people, get to know, like maybe get into a location that is super expensive. You just
Yep.
want to see the location. I did that for Waverly because that actually was public.
Oh, okay.
Um, but it was
I,
it was $75, and we got lucky because there was hardly anybody there that night. And I was told
oh,
that was good because some nights it's terrible when you do public.
yeah. I've never done a public at Waverly. The three times I've been, they've all been private. So, but we did a semi-public one when we went to West Virginia State Penitentiary.
We
Kinda,
did. That
sorta.
was that was kind of sort of public. Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Next up is your favorite host of this show, because I know it ain't me and Brad.
Right.
Um, it's definitely gonna be Henry the Doodle, and I heard Gender was still hanging out. Is
Yep.
she just is she
She's
just gonna
still.
be hanging out for a while now?
Yep. She's kind of still there. She's not set up quite real
Is,
straight at the moment, but
is
she's
she
over
like
there.
trying to get in on the show, or
I think so.
you think so?
Maybe she wants to do like a fashion segment.
Ooh. Like
Paranormal fashion.
paranormal gear, like fashion show. Like we could just like
Like
have
if
a
you
little
design, like if you,
backpack. And...
yeah, or if you do more merch, she could like model it.
Oh, what am I
Considering
talking
I
about?
have like, considering I have
Does
like 7 T-shirts from your last time you did merch. I mean,
I know. And merch is coming back, guys. Merch is coming back.
paranormal.
Eventually. I gotta create it.
Hey, Linda.
Hey, Linda. All right, guys. So up next is your next host, bringing to you one of our favorites, Skywatch.
Look. You need to get the boys. Did the kids come out to look? Yeah, like how did that? How did that? Did you see it though when it was over here? It looked so crazy. It looked like it's on fire. I don't think that's it. That sound comes from over there. That's the noise, isn't it? What the heck? Look at it, boy. Look at it. Probably Elon. They really just made a hole in the front. Look. Look at it. don't even look normal.
It really like a whole animal.
It like it turned into a spirit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry, that video was kind of hard to see.
And it was way longer than I thought it was.
2 minutes. When you guys see these videos like this, what is your guys' instant reaction? Is it like, are you always trying to debunk it? Like, is it alien? Is it a plane? Is it a bird? Is it Superman? Who knows? Right?
Right.
So
this also happened in Miami right about the time they had the other things happening at the mall. So
right. So
put
if
the
you
video
remember,
in connection.
if you remember from the very first episode, we shared the Miami aliens. And yes, this was right around that time, which wasn't that long ago. It's so interesting to me that it seems like a lot of things are happening near Florida lately.
Yeah. Florida's a weird state anyway, but yeah, so I'm not really surprised.
Right. But if you watch the video closer, if you can zoom in, the link is in the description, guys, if you want to look at that video yourself on TikTok. It looks like it splits up maybe in threes.
Mm-hmm.
Like at first it looks like it's coming towards them. To me, it looks like they come and then it turns, but it almost looks kind of like a comet.
Very possible.
But,
very possible.
I don't know that it's not like a comet's going to go this way and this way, but it's. If you watch the video, multiple people are out watching this, but nobody's freaking out. So true. I'm like, is that how we're all going to react when aliens come? We're all just going to like get our phones out and.
The few times I've ever chased like lights in the sky, it wasn't like a, oh my God, it was a, let's be calm and let's follow these lights. So I can kind of understand it.
It's weird. I just don't feel like I have had that moment where I've seen something in the sky where I'm like, that's an alien.
Me and John did coming home from a location up in northern Indiana. We were traveling home and we were on 465 on the east side of Indy, and this weird light, yes, Whitley County, and this weird light was like coming down over us. It was the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah, I kind of want to have that moment, but I'm afraid, like, what if they legit like want to take me home or
right?
Like I don't know what to expect. What were you drinking? Were you drinking, Brad?
We were not drinking. We were investigating a school, so no drinking.
What was it? I caught a school.
Yeah.
Oh, was the one school I know?
It's a school I can't talk about because it's still an open school.
Yeah, so it's the one I know about. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's awesome. I hope I have that moment. I hope I see something like that, where I see the weird lights, whatever. My brain automatically wants to figure out what it is in the sky. So I think if something popped up, like an alien type entity in the sky, I think my brain would still try to make sense of it, even if it makes no sense.
Yeah, that same night we were up in Whitley County, we saw another weird light in the sky, but early in the night, and then we saw the other weird lights later in the night. Yeah, it was a double weird night.
And was there any sound? Because I know you've mentioned no sound with some of these lights.
No sound with the first light that night, and we were in the car and didn't have the windows down on the other one, so I don't know if there was sound the second time, but there was definitely no sound with the first one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Fort Wayne does have an air base nearby, but they don't have, and that's near Whitley County. They don't have like interesting. I've never seen interesting things in the sky from them. So I've seen some jets.
Yeah, the first light we saw. The first light we saw that night was like reminded me of like a Chinese lantern, and then we just literally watched it like flicker out and was gone.
Yep. Possibly. So yeah, definitely. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments if you think it's aliens. You think it's, I don't know, flare of some type. I think there's like, what is it called? Pyrotechnicians that they can do in the sky.
Right. Because
I know
we looked at another video that they said it was pyrotechnics from a football game or
it was
something.
something like that. They were claiming it was that. So definitely let us know. So the next segment is for you, Brad.
It is.
And for John, if John's still watching.
And this video's never been posted anywhere. I literally
I
literally took this from my phone, edited it down, and then sent it to her so she could post this tonight.
And I'll be honest with you, I have not watched the whole video.
Because the last 2 seconds are the best part.
Are they really? Okay,
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to this. But do you want to give a little background on where it was taken or anything like that?
So this was shot in May when we went to West Virginia State Penitentiary, and John and I are down in the Sugar Shack, and we've seen a bat earlier in the night. So I'm kind of behind the camera, antagonizing the bat, calling it. I don't know if I might have edited the part out, but I was calling it Bruce and asking if it worked for Wayne Manor or Wayne Industries, and was making Batman jokes. And then we see the bat fly, and then the end is great. So
awesome. So guys, here is my least favorite segment of the night: when bats attack.
Master Wayne, are you the head of Wayne Enterprises?
Oh, there he went.
Oh, yeah, I think I got him.
He just went right back there. Bolted to the wall.
It's been fun. It's been real. It's even been real fun.
There he went. Back there. Around that corner. All the way to the back. Actually, yeah, there's a room right there. He went in there.
That was a good.
Yep.
I fucking hate those videos. Oh my god! The whole time, you guys can't see me when I'm in backstage mode, but Brad can see me. And every time you share one of those videos, I'm like this the whole time, tense, waiting for the bat to attack. Oh my gosh! So tell me about that. So I thought it was gonna hit John because.
No, that's the Ashmore video that I can't get to you, where it actually hits John. That one nearly hit me.
I was fully anticipating when he walked over there. I was waiting for it and waiting for it. I'm like, he is gonna get that. That's gonna swoop. Was there two of them? I thought there was two. Maybe it's just the lighting.
It could have been. I don't know. I know there was bats down there, and then I remember catching that video, and then we started this segment. I'm like, oh yeah, I have that. I gotta edit that down and send it to her, because that, like I said, that's never been posted anywhere. So you all saw that for the first time.
I'm curious, how do you stay so calm?
I'm not afraid of the bats.
I'm inspired. I
still flinch when they fly at my face, but as you can see when I like dip the camera, but like unless like at Indiana State, like as we progressed through the night and it got worse with the
Mhm.
bats inside, I
Yeah.
wish I had video of the bat we had on the 5th floor of the Adams building, because
Yeah.
like we all like closed ourselves off in a room. It was me, Sky, Corey, Don. We were all like closed off in a room, and we kept hearing stuff out in the hall. But when I opened the door to go out, the biggest bat I'd ever seen. Like this thing was huge. The biggest bat I'd ever seen was flying around the hallway, and I'm like, "Yeah, we're getting out of here." And we like ducked down and ran through the. So video of that would have been funny, but I don't have video of it.
Yes. I wondered if some of those were even bats. I thought they had to been something else. They were massive, some of them.
Some of the ones at Indiana State were humongous.
Yeah. We're used to those little ones like they're at the jail, which I was there that night, and yes, I was stuck with some bats in the rooms.
Yep.
But I survived.
You put your hoodie up.
I put my hoodie up, yep, and I survived. But Indiana State, I wasn't even safe outside. They were coming outside.
Yeah, the bats
outside the front door where I was trying to stay away from them. It was awful. It was awful. Yep. So guys, that was a lovely video. I hate and love these videos when they come to the bats for sure.
And I'm still trying to get the Ashmore video that I took several years ago that contains a bat. Well, John took the video, but I was there with him, so I'm working on trying to get it.
Yeah. Brad, I have a special task for you for our next segment.
Yeah.
I'm going to shuffle.
Okay.
You're going to tell me when to stop.
Okay.
And what's on top of the deck is going to be for the month of February.
For the entire month?
Yes.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
Here's your tarot reading. All right. Who's ready to see what February is going to be like?
Short and cold.
We're not talking weather.
I know.
This February is a special February. It is a leap year. Who's excited for that?
That also means Summer Olympics and presidential election too, so.
We'll skip the last one. So guys, with that extra day, which by the way, what day is that extra day on? Oh, it's the day before it's the day after our show.
Oh, okay.
We might have to do a special, how's everybody's leap year going to go? That special day.
Oh yeah, that's what you could do. That's what we could do for that week's tarot reading.
But since it is January 31st and February begins tomorrow, which, by the way, in my opinion, February is the second best month of the year for several reasons. One, it means spring's coming sooner.
Right.
Two,
right.
The best worldwide holidays that month.
Your birthday?
My birthday, which means we're in Aquarius season, which Aquarians are the best. Sorry, guys.
My sister's birthday is like 2 days before yours, so.
Well, then she's the best.
She's pretty awesome.
Brad's a Leo. It's a mystery why we get along.
Right. I'm not very Leo-ish, though.
You're kind of, let's see, your birthday's it's because you're on that cusp of Virgo. That's what it is. That Virgo makes you a little more sensitive than the average Leo.
Yep. I'm not a narcissistic asshole like most Leos.
But no offense if you're Leo and you're watching. These are just stereotypes.
I'm a Leo. I'm allowed to say that.
2 Brads, 2 Leos. Brad Webb, you're a Leo? What day? Are you in August or July, Leo? I'm curious. I think that matters too. I think February Aquarius are better than January Aquarius.
Oh God, you're an August Leo.
August. Ooh,
What day?
I think it matters what day.
If he says the same day as my birthday, that'd be funny.
Yeah, because you already share that birthday with a couple people, don't you? The 9th?
I know one other person I share.
You know what? I'm weird about numbers, so you have 8 and 9 in your birthday. The 9th feels like a more settled type of Leo, you know? Like, not so cocky, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. You got to tell me when to stop shuffling for February.
Oh, yeah. Stop.
Okay.
Pick that card.
Okay. The one on top. My 14-year-old is a July 23rd Leo. She's a stone cold killer. Let me tell you. Oh, man. July 23rd. I don't know a lot of July Leos, which is kind of weird. I know people like at the beginning of the month. Most of the people I know are born towards the beginning of the month, not the end of the month. It's kind of strange. I've only met one person with the same birthday. Heck, I was in the womb with another person. I'm a twin, if you didn't know. All right. This is our February read. Let's see how our February is going to go. Oh, man. What is this? The devil.
Well.
Look at that dad bod of a devil. Oh, we got the penis and the vagina showing there. Am I allowed to say that on YouTube?
I don't know.
We've had this card pull up before during a read.
You did, yes. Way to go, Brad. Yep, that was all me.
Let's talk about the devil here because, again, if you don't know, I am not a tarot card reader. I only pull the cards and I use my intuition and the lovely illustration of the card to come up with a reading. Brad,
Mm-hmm.
what are you feeling? Let's do a combined read on this. I feel the first word that popped up into my head was change.
Okay. The first thing that popped into my head was love, since it's February, and then we ended up having the nudity on the card. So,
do you secretly are you into this guy? It's the dad bod, ain't it? Does it for you?
Yeah.
I mean, look at him. Look at him. He needs like a nice hairy chest going on.
Well, we could get a pen and draw that on there.
No. So yes, we do have some nudity on this card. We have some chains. So what would the chains themselves on this card, you have two people linked together, right? But it's overlooked as a person who is considered to be evil. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's dissect this. What could that mean? Do we feel like there's a hold? You have a hold in some way that's holding you back in the month of February from, I think, change, because I do think change is definitely coming in February for most of us. I wouldn't doubt if love itself could happen for not everybody, but most of us.
Mm-hmm.
Most of these card pulls is not like the whole world. It's everybody watching here, right? So there could be a change in your love. I'm still feeling a change in employment too, but I think that's because of my personal situation. I'm freaking out about.
That's your own read on yourself there.
My own read. I'm like freaking out, guys, right now about my job. Ugh.
I've been at my job for 23 years. I don't think it's going to be changing anytime soon. So
maybe. How do you know? Maybe they're going to go remote. I'm kidding.
How can I do that?
If you can do your job remote, like maybe
that'd be awesome.
They can have little robots. Like you can just sit from home and drive your little robot from
That'd
home
be awesome.
virtually, but he's actually there. That's not gonna happen.
I'm gonna suggest that.
It's probably cheaper to have staff than it would be for that. But you
Probably.
totally should suggest it.
I could do that. They have a thing where we can suggest changes.
I think the number 28, so I think the 28th day is going to be an interesting day, February 28th. So I want to say that. Just hire my robot, Brad.
Have you seen his robot that he made?
Yes.
His 4-foot one?
The army and the 4-foot one?
Yeah.
Yes. I have seen the robot.
I have too.
They're very cool. Very
and I'm
cool.
like, it's almost as tall as my mom.
The devil has bat wings.
I
don't like that. But down here is a door. So this to me looks like a door. You might be able to see it. I definitely feel like this is a barrier. This is a barrier from that chain. Between the chain itself, the door, looks like a lock is on it. I think there's going to be some big barriers for some people and changes. Maybe the bat has devil wings. No, but probably bats are evil. So yeah. I definitely think everybody pay attention to February 28th. That really feels like a weird day to me. Numbers matter, Brad.
And we have a show that day.
Yeah, we do have a show that day. But that doesn't, I'm talking about like in general for everybody.
I know.
I wonder if there's something society-wise going to happen.
Maybe we'll have really good tea that night.
America, pay attention on the 28th February. I'm feeling that date for some reason. America, you need to pay attention. It almost feels political. It's weird.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going with. So what do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comment section. All right, guys, we are almost to our tea, so we got to get to the next segment here. Guys, this is going to be our equipment of the week. It's our feature of the week. It's going to be equipment. And Brad has some interesting things to share with us on one of his favorite pieces of equipment. Here we go.
Hey everyone. So as you can see, it fell. But I have the equipment of the week is Ouija boards. I have 4 of them right here that I own. 2 antique ones and 2 modern ones. I know some people are posting the paranormal or the Ouija board lunchbox. I'm like, hey, I own one of those too. So I know a lot of people have negative connotations and don't like them and think they're evil and stuff. I truly don't. I think they're just a way to communicate with the other side. I don't see much difference between asking a question of a board where it spells something out for you as it is using a voice recorder and something talks back. I mean, the boards themselves don't do anything. The cardboard and plastic don't have a connection to the other side. It's the user who causes whatever to come through. So I think they're a good source of communication. I've used them a few different places. Some of them places I'm not allowed to say because I was told not to, but I've used them with permission, but was then told not to say the location. But I've had good interaction with things, like things would answer questions. I had a Ouija board planchette once come all the way off the board and end up in my lap. I mean, I've used them in some cemeteries. I mean, I just think they're a good tool in an easy way, an old school way to communicate with the other side. So, yeah. What do you think about them? You're muted.
I am muted. I think Ouija boards are, let me retry this. They're just a tool. They're just another tool. Yes, people get scared that they're going to get something attached to it because of all the horror stories. they're going to get possessed by, like, what do you guys think when you're holding any other piece of equipment in your hand? A K2, an EMF, a camera, a cell phone. Why don't you think that that can obtain an entity and or possess you in some way? I mean, I don't understand the reason to be scared of Ouija boards. I
Right.
get it. Media's made it a scary thing.
Mhm.
But the reality of it is, it's just another tool. If you play with crystals, crystals love to hold energy. That's what they do. Scientifically speaking, that's what they do, right? So not even spiritually speaking. So why is a Ouija board so terrifying? And I get it. Maybe some people, it's the words that are. What if they say like a word that is scary or whatever? But
Right. But if you get an EVP of a word, I mean, it's still just a
what's the
word.
difference? Yeah.
Right.
I think it's scarier to hear it than to, have your hands be that way.
Right.
I know John mentioned in the chat he doesn't give credibility to Ouija boards. There are times I think that people are moving it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I have never in my life seen a Ouija board work so well than I did that one time I was investigating the Bell Mansion. I'm like, whatever. That is ridiculous for it to be like on the spot, question, answering, go, go, go. I don't know. If it's real, I can't explain it because to me,
how were they using it? Were they moving the planchette, or was the planchette still?
They were holding it and it would move.
Okay, so I do it
so automatic.
So when I normally do it, I do move it while I'm asking the question. Like I know I'm moving it, and then where it stops, is what like spells out whatever.
Right.
So,
right.
So
yeah.
I do it where I actually am moving it, and then wherever it stops is what it's telling me.
Which I'm not familiar with that method because I've never seen somebody do that.
Yeah, that's how I was taught how to use it by Daniel Garrison. So.
Yeah. So we just wanted to highlight Ouija boards, guys, and how we feel about them and how you can utilize them. They can be safe. Like, don't be afraid. You got to realize, like, if a spirit really wants to get to you, a spirit's going to get to you, regardless of the tool you're using.
Right.
So if they're capable of getting into a board, I don't see why they can't get into a piece of your clothing, get into, whatever they can do to get to where they want to go and what they want to.
Yeah, Parker Brothers didn't have like a special contract with the other side that it only works with Ouija boards. It just
And your 8-year-old kids can play with it apparently.
Right? Yeah.
According to Hasbro, so. Because was Hasbro and Parker Brothers the same, or was it
two different
companies? Take it over from Parker
Hasbro,
Brothers?
I think makes them now. The original ones were the original ones were Parker Brothers.
Parker Brothers. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and
all right, guys.
The oldest Ouija board I've ever used was in from 1919, and I used it at the Roth House in Watseka, Illinois. Yeah, it was there. It was their Ouija board. We found it and used it.
That would be cool. A really old one, to see, even just to see it would be really cool.
Yeah, it was actually made of wood, and we had to. I even took a picture of it and looked it up via the picture to find out how old it was.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool, very cool. All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap up to the last segment here real quick since we're running out of time because we've got some tea to share. So I hope everybody's ready. In the next segment, we're going to talk about something that very specifically has been brought up to us recently, and we'd like to discuss. So here's your tea.
Oh, that's
all right, guys. Let's talk some tea.
Yes.
This week's tea. We want to discuss this. Brad wants to be a jerk and talk about specific people, but I'm not going to talk about specific people. I told him no names.
I'll be nice.
We threw out Adam Kimmel's name because screw him, but
I'll be nice this week. And by the way, we got no flack from what we did last week. So
Yeah, no. We ain't famous enough.
yeah. Oh well. Still
All right,
needed to
guys.
be
So this
said.
we want to discuss joining a paranormal team or joining others in the paranormal, whether it be like one other person, multiple people, whatever.
And then what happens when it goes bad and teams break up?
Yes. So Brad's been in the field longer than me. I've been in the field for almost 9 years, I think.
And
8, 9.
I think I'm at 12 or 13. 13.
Yeah. Brad, how many teams have you been part of?
One, two that I joined as a member, and then I've started 3. And they didn't really, the 3 I started didn't ever really end. We just kind of expanded and added new people, and then some of the previous ones didn't tag along. So me and John have started 3 teams together.
Right. And how long did the teams last that you were part of?
The first team didn't last too long because the guy that was in charge had a weird medical problem, and it just kind of fell apart. So then that's when I joined the second team, which I think I went on maybe one investigation with, because I didn't like their style of investigation, because they wanted to do only residentials or free locations and never wanted to do pay for play. And that was when I was real young and new and into this and wanted to go everywhere and be every place. But they also had a 15-page questionnaire to join their team. I'm not kidding. I literally lied and filled this thing out. And I'm like, This is the dumbest thing. And then once I turned it in, one of the members of the team's like, everyone just wants to join our team from that team. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to like this. So then that's when I broke apart from them and joined up with John and my friend Ryan. And we all just one day were like, we should start a team together. And that's when we started Indie Afterlife.
Yep. And that's technically still going.
Yep.
But you're just not having meetings or like any of that.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. It's still all together. Like if we wanted to investigate with those people, I could just say, hey, we're going to investigate. And then me and John broke off from them and teamed up with our good friends from Ohio, Tiny and Marlena Corns, and started No Nonsense Paranormal. Yeah. And that one is just a logistics thing. They're so far away and we're so far away. It's hard for us to meet up to do a group thing together. And then John and I just met even more friends, and then we started the Gray Area Paranormal Project. So
lots of stuff going on for you. For
sure. Always, yeah. I'm always busy with something.
Well, my experience was very different. Everybody knows Unveil Paranormal is a one-woman show, although you're here with me on the podcast. Unveil Paranormal itself is me and only me. So if you don't like me, you probably don't like Unveil Paranormal. But that's just what it is. Unveil Paranormal, I used to be under medium empath Clarissa, because all I used to do mostly is empathic stuff, mediumship, stuff like that. I realized that there's more to the paranormal than just being a psychic medium, right? We want to see something different. So that's when I came up with Unveil Paranormal. The inspiration for the name, if you're curious, was because I didn't get married like I was supposed to. And that's how I came up with the name. It was a great time. It was during COVID. Fuck COVID. But I walked away from that situation, which it was worth it. We're still good friends, so all's gravy. But I have been with 2 teams. And the first team I'm going to mention is going to be Things. Jeremy York. So I joined Things in 2021. And if you guys didn't know, I actually have stepped away from Things. I didn't do a big announcement. We didn't make it a big deal. I just want to focus on Unveil. So it was cordial. Jeremy and me are still friends, obviously. He's watching the show. So I did. I stepped away from things. I don't even know if I'm still in the chats or any of that stuff. But I did. I decided I'm going to focus on Unveil this year. After I got through last year and got through Parauni 5 and all that stuff, that's what I decided to do. I'm going to focus on just all things Unveil instead of all things. So me and Jeremy are cool. All's great. We're planning on still collaborating and all that fun stuff. It is funny. He says he has a 50 questionnaire. Jeremy, I think I vaguely remember your questionnaire, and I know he had one because Jeremy is very meticulous.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't let just anybody join, it feels like. And when he does, he wants to make sure you're a decent human being, which nothing is wrong with that. So, what are you guys talking about, Brad? Well, if that happens, you'll have more than next story. But what? I don't know what's going on there. Is that some tea we need to know about? Because we're talking tea. My first group that I was with, I don't even know if I should say their name. They're not together anymore. This was back in 2016. I'm getting hot, guys. I gotta take this off. I went back in 2016 to a public event and investigated with these people. And the one lady, she seemed pretty nice. I learned a lot from the other ladies there. They were teaching, like it was Ball State University was actually there. Like some of those kids,
Oh, wow.
A bunch of them went. And then it was at Old Blackford County Jail.
Okay.
And they went and I met them. And so they too had a questionnaire and all this nonsense. And I joined that team. And then the rules came. So everything that I captured or had was their evidence.
Yeah.
And I will say I say there loosely because it was only the leader and the creator of the team. She loved making money off of the investigations. I'm pretty sure she still does. And I know who she is and what she goes under by now. I think she probably still profits off of it. I wouldn't doubt it. The
Not
team
the
itself
right
is
reason.
no longer.
Not the right reason to be in the paranormal.
Yeah. So I specifically, I rode that wave for a couple years, and then everybody started dropping like flies. We had 2 people, I think, quit in one day because they were really good friends with each other. So those 2 quit. We had people come and go. I mean, it was like, I felt like I was the only one sticking around at this point. I'm like, I don't know. And I have a stupid loyalty complex to people that are toxic. And so it was hard for me to walk away, even though I knew it wasn't going in the direction I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of control stuff there, and it was too much. Which is another issue we have, and that's an issue we've come across, is controlling team members that are in it for more than what their original mission was.
Yeah.
Some people see the paranormal as a cash cow.
They do, which is not right.
That's all this is for them. It's let's make money off the podcast. Because mystery, the reason that these shows make it is because mystery, scary stuff, they sell,
Mm-hmm.
anything that's,
I don't even like collabing with people. Like, I specifically asked not to have a investigation live streamed, and then it still happened. And this was just recently, and I'm like,
really?
I specifically asked for you to bring your DVR system because I wanted to do an experiment, and you just ran with it and live streamed it. And I'm like, you didn't do it the way I was going to plan it out because I had it specific things I wanted done. But I got so frustrated with that night. I literally left the house, and the 2 people who were running over the investigation didn't even know I left. And I'm like,
that's terrible.
Yeah, so there's definitely frustration when you collab with people, even if it's not truly a whole team aspect, it's just like, really? I specifically, we invited you to come with us, and then you just like take over. That's not cool.
Do not expect that when you meet friends on Facebook or other platforms that they're going to be just like what they are on social media in person. Okay.
The bad part was I'd already met these people before. This wasn't the first time I'd investigated with them.
Right, but when people are collabing, that sometimes that's what happens is they don't even get the chance to meet that person in advance. And so they collab with them, and then they're just, everything's out there for everybody to see. So keep that in mind. I am guilty, guys. I am not 100% the same person online that I am offline. I'm much more crabbier offline. I'm much
I'm
more
not going to say a single word.
Like I own it. I own how I am. I am difficult. I'm a very difficult person. Brad knows personally. It's because I'm very opinionated. It's because I'm just me, and that's not everybody's cup of tea. And so I get it. I understand that. But just keep that in mind when you're collabing. But when you're not just a collabing, but when you're interested in connecting with people and you say, hey, let's investigate together, make sure you can trust them. Because it's scary to go out there and you meet a whole different team. Like, I didn't even think in my head when I went to go investigate back in 2016 with this team that I was going to put myself in any danger. It felt safe because it was a public or whatever, but I've heard horror stories of people going to public investigations and having bad experiences, not because of the location, but because of the host or because of the team or whatever.
Like you and I literally met at an investigation.
We
like
did.
We had never met or talked before that night.
Yeah, Brad, you could have been like a serial killer.
You're not even the first person to actually ever fucking say that to me.
you because it literally was what, 4 of us that investigated that night.
Yeah, and you, Beetlejuice, me, and my dad. That was it.
Yeah, you and your dad could have been like, let's stab Beetlejuice and steal the girl.
But I'd already known Beetlejuice at that time, so it wasn't like the first time I'd ever met him. So.
Oh, okay. Because didn't I book it, or did you book it?
You guys did.
I booked it, yeah. And then he asked if you wanted to come or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how I met you.
That was one of the weeks I was on his good side.
Yes. Same. But yeah, so you guys just have to keep that in mind. Like, there are creeps out there. There are people who are they're going to have a different mission than you. And so that's like something you guys need to remember when you're thinking about joining the team is they can sit there, watch their post, watch their personal page post. If they seem catty, if they seem backstabby, like, if you make enough friends in the field, and this is what we discovered today specifically, that there's certain people in the field that are blacklisted.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody talks about it. Right? But everybody knows if that person shows up, it's going to be a shit show.
And they aren't.
Everybody knows. Right?
Yes, because I investigated with the person she's discussing this about. And the second time I ever investigated with her, every time she came in the room with me, I got violently ill. Like, violently ill. But then as soon as she'd leave, I felt fine. And the only other time I'd investigate her with her was at a public event, your public event. And I'm like, I knew well enough alone to keep my distance from her. But when I was in a smaller group setting and I had to interact with this person, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm being so nice. I'm trying.
If you don't have to be super nice, but let's be real. When my emotions get involved, I'm really bad at detecting bullshit, which we all know, right? But other people, it's the vibe. If the vibe is off,
Right.
And I didn't even know that person. I knew of that person until I met that person. And when I met that person, I was like, yep, this is exactly what I thought it'd be like. It
Mm-hmm.
just didn't feel right. It just, and you know, maybe I could try to be realistic and say, well, maybe they're having a bad day or something. No, the vibe.
No, they like chaos. They like to have the chaos. They like to have the drama. That's another thing you don't want to have in a paranormal team is someone like that.
Yeah, if you're a serious investigator, ignore the drama and the chaos and all that stuff. You don't need any of that. Like if somebody's, I'm going to tell you guys this, you don't need anybody to help you build a platform in this field. No, you don't have to. Like Brad, I was joking earlier about how you know people and you get me in places. I don't need Brad, okay? Like people are going to like me or they're not going to like me. End of story, right?
Right.
But when you rely on somebody that way, you're giving them the power. And we shouldn't do that. Let's not give people the power over our choices. Like, this is going to be a moment, guys. Listen to my words. Do not give other people the power over your choices, all right? So, and that's what happens in these groups a lot. Somebody's a leader, somebody's got a big head on them, and they just want to take over.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple. And so you will lose yourself in those situations.
And another thing that annoys me is when people claim to be psychics and they just aren't. Don't claim to be something you're not.
I love that you just said they just aren't. And that is beautifully said, because I do not doubt that there are some people who just don't get it in their head that they are not gifted. Not like I sit here and I preach that everybody has some sensitivity and some ability, but some people just don't have a brain.
Yeah, like for me, I can read energies, I can read auras, I can do all that, but I don't want to call myself a medium. I don't want to call myself a psychic or anything. I just want to be known as me. I can do that stuff. So,
well, and you do get, like, I publicly say I'm a medium and whatnot. Like, I do publicly say it, and I do get the shitty looks and all that stuff. I don't, however, you've probably noticed, Brad, from investigating with me, I never mention it during public investigations.
Right.
Rarely. Because, especially the ones I'm hosting, I mean, people that go to them probably already know, but when I do a public investigation, I don't want to be the person who's trying to show off or outshine or make your experience about me. I want people to enjoy investigating. I want to see their wings span. It's not about me.
And when you do your public events, you try to investigate with everybody. Like throughout the entire night, you try to make sure you spread yourself out and go investigate with everybody, which is awesome.
Everybody gets a piece now. Yeah. So, and I just have a different mindset than a lot of people in the field. A lot of people, when they're hosting, they want eyes on them. And that's one thing we're talking about with the eclipse thing. I'm like, I don't know. I got to look, see who the hosts are. I got to see what kind of investigation is. Will it be one of those investigations where we all just get to have fun? Or is it one of those teams that take control?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. I'd have to look into it. I don't know. I've not collabed with enough teams, in my opinion, to be able to make a judgment.
Right. I have with like local teams, but not teams from Ohio very often.
I think team, like, but yeah, no, the reality of it is teams come and go. Your friends are going to come and go. Try and build meaningful relationships in this field, not this half-ass stuff. We're coattail riding on each other. We're hoping each other gets famous, or we're searching for a different mission. And I guess one thing I kind of wish would be more happening, like I am not one, I don't want to sit here and call people out, but I kind of wish we would do that more. Like the
I'm okay with
situation
it.
today, I hope that a certain person's listening. I wish I could have came to you sooner to tell you the person you associate with is shit.
She is.
But
Totally.
I didn't because I want to keep the peace. And I wish I would have, you know what I mean?
I was called two-faced.
Yeah, Brad.
Yeah. I still only have the one face, and it's still adorable.
Oh my god. So yeah, I mean, I hope she hears that and she knows who I'm talking to. But I do. I wish, because I feel like if we're building good friendships in the field, we would come to you and we would say. So that's maybe something to work on. Only a few for BAM ghouls. What? That's hard to do. So
I like collabing with the Bam Ghouls. They're a fun group to hang out with.
I would love to meet all of them.
Oh yeah, you've not met them all yet, have you?
No, I met Melanie, and sorry the event that the New Year's Eve event didn't go quite as planned, but that's okay. But absolutely, I do think it's important to make meaningful
relations. They're coming to the Geyer when we go. So
okay. So hopefully I'm gonna meet everybody. So, and I will. I am strangely enough kind of shy and reserved in large groups, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be like what 6 of us total. So
I'm gonna know everybody there. That's not gonna count.
Right.
But yeah, absolutely. So keep that in mind, guys. Make sure you collab with people who have the same mission. Make sure you join teams. Ask them what their plans are. I've seen teams who never investigate. They're a team, but they never investigate. I've seen teams who, like the very first team I was with, they investigated every month. Every month there was a meeting and an investigation. I actually like that. I kind of missed that. Like I thought about doing that for myself. Will Unveil ever be?
Whoa. What? You were going to have a meeting with yourself every month?
No, but Brad and me have discussed. I said, will Unveil ever become a team? And I'm like, because we've talked about it, right? I'm like,
yeah, we have.
Will it ever? I'm like, my thing is, and I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys, I am a control freak. I am, and I know that my stupid ass is going to turn into one of those annoying leaders who's like, what you got? Where's your stuff? Like, I know I'm going to fail miserably at it because I want to make sure, like, the mission that I want, I don't want to lean on somebody else for it. Like, I will share my evidence because I got it. Right. I just don't want to push somebody to share it because they're part of the team if they don't want to, you know?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I'll be honest, guys. Probably not going to be an Unveil team. Just because I am a highly aware individual of my personality. And Jeremy says, yeah, Jeremy and me are not much different. But I can tolerate Jeremy, so we're good. Because I do appreciate his organization skills and all that. So from one organizer to the other, I respect you. I love my spreadsheets, guys. That's all I can say. So. All right, Brad. Any other tea on that? On joining the team?
No, I've been nice. I'm not going to say any names or call them out.
Good job. When you get off here, you can post whatever you want. So with that said, everybody, we will let you go. Again, if you see any videos or any posts that we shared on here, go ahead and check the links in the description. They will be all your links there. You can check out those events and whatnot. Show your girl some love, like, follow, share, subscribe, whatever crap you want to do. It don't matter to me. I don't make money on this anyways. I'd appreciate the love there. With that said, everybody, Brad?
Yep. Thanks, everybody.
Good night.
See you next week.